Hey, good day to you. Glad to see you. Hope this gives you some encouragement, hopefully. And I always say this may not be for someone, but it's for somebody. So it may not apply to you, but we'll see. So we're talking about self-esteem and courage, right? And this is something I've always wrestled with, and that's because of the trauma that I experienced. And we have been taught through history books, through education, and movies, so for social media, that there are certain people that are just they are picked among the rest of us that accomplish great feats. They have great successes in life, and we should focus on them. And that's great that you can use them as a template to help you succeed where you want to go. But you can also look at yourself and gauge your success from there on your own accomplishments and how you had to use courage to get through it. So, and I say that because myself, for example, again, just like I said, I experienced so much trauma and through abuse and so forth that I witnessed and experienced, that these people tried to take every bit of my will and try to discourage me and try to take every little bit of confidence that I had. And as I grew older, I thought I had no confidence and no courage. And then as I got older, I realized, again, later in life, I had to realize that the fact that you're still living and you survived, it had to take some courage. It had to take a strong, solid willpower to be able to get through those tough times. You may be experiencing currently, right now, a loss of a loved one, a loss of employment. You had a business and you lost everything. You started from ground zero. You lost your car, house, and you're living in an area or in a place where you're driving something that you know this is not you. You may have experienced divorce or been molested or had suicidal thoughts and so forth. And I want to tell you, the fact that you're still standing, if you're watching this video, shows that you have a great amount of courage, a substantial amount of courage. Listen, courage is basically not being deterred, sidetracked by danger or pain. And because, again, you're still here, if you wake up every morning with breath in your body and you have the God-given ability to get through your day, in spite of what you're currently going through or what you've been through, it takes a lot of courage, man. And society looks and measures and assess on a certain level what it is because of external stimuli. And that's just not true. If you have a big house, a big car, and all these things, that shows, no, it doesn't. It does not. Three things I want to share with you. Number one, you may say, Chris, I don't feel courageous. Well, we don't always all the time. You say, well, Chris, I've said some things. I've said some harsh words towards people. I've made some statements. I've made decisions that affected me and my family. It caused me some setbacks. Well, guess what? That's just life. You have to move on. You have to forgive yourself and have grace on yourself and understand that because of the trauma and the things you've experienced, maybe you still need time to process. Maybe you didn't get a resolve, and that's just your emotions reacting. And so maybe it will help you to speak to someone, get counseling. If you can't afford counseling, find someone that a close relative or a good friend that you can talk to these things about. And also understanding whatever you went through, where it was a loss or whatever pain or trauma you went through, don't hide it. You went through it. You experienced. And your experience and my experiences are totally different. So we can't compare. Second thing, society tries to measure what success is and what courage is because of movies and the history books, and that's great. But that's not always the case, because we have our own private moments, our own successes that no one knows about, and frankly don't care. And we don't have time to explain it and give them the narrative. But guess what? You're just as successful as Napoleon was. So don't try to compare. Even in our jobs, our employment, they do something called a yearly review, right? And they say, well, we're going to assess what you've done, Chris, for the past month, and did you meet your marks, and did you set out all the goals and things that we asked you to do? And then sometimes we did, and sometimes we didn't, and sometimes we allowed that to transcend to our own personal life. But don't even allow that to determine your success or how courageous you are, because they don't know what you've been through, and they don't know the times you've done overtime and how you sacrificed for clients and what you did outside of the job that you didn't even tell them about. So we can't let that determine us. And the last thing, think of that I always say this. Remember the Wizard of Oz, right? Dorothy and the Cowardly Lion and the Tin Man and the Scarecrow. Remember they went on this journey to get to the wizard, right? This all supreme being, to find something that they already had. When they got there, they realized this wizard, who's supposed to be all-knowing, basically told us, we already have it. We traveled for miles to get to something that we already have. I just want to tell you that you have it. You are courageous. You are stronger than you think, and you have power. You are powerful, more powerful than you think. Maybe it's the people around you who are not giving you enough affirmation or praise. Maybe it's the people around you who are only pointing at your lack and your downfalls or what they feel you're lacking. Be proud of yourself. Be courageous. You got this.